Welcome to the Glow Getters podcast. My name is Fahey-Ahrndt, and I'm your host. I teach and inspire leaders to step into their productive selves and find their true potential. I'm a passionate creative and scientist with over 8 years of healthcare leadership experience. At age 25, I stepped into my first management role and didn't find the leadership advice I was looking for. So here I'm giving you the tools to end burnout and enjoy a vibrant career and life. Glad you're here to learn and grow with me. Now, on with the show. Hey friends, welcome to the Leadership Collaborative YouTube channel or the Glow Getters podcast, depending on where you're listening. Maybe you're checking this out on Instagram. Welcome and hello. So today is day 4 of a 5-day series on the leader mindset. And so we've talked about being intentional, and we've talked about reflection, and we've talked about discernment, some really, really good stuff. Today we're going to talk about being a visionary and looking ahead. So if you haven't checked out those videos, they're on the same platform that you're watching right now. So go back and watch those first, check out this one, and stay tuned for tomorrow for day 5. But today we're going to talk about being a visionary and looking ahead. So my first thing is, it's actually something that came up this week. I was talking to one of the executives on my team, and he was saying how I needed to be patient as I move things forward slowly and not lose sight of the big picture. So I think as leaders, this is such a good concept because we're a little bit more removed from the work. We might still be like front line, but we might be maybe a little bit less than everyone else who maybe we lead, right? So we are a little bit zoomed out. I'm not sure if you know about lean thinking, but there is a diagram out there that looks at like our lean circle of influence. So if you're a frontline worker, what you care about is like hour by hour. And if maybe you're like a lead on that team, maybe you care about like, how's the day going? Sorry about the sound if you end up hearing my husband is vacuuming upstairs. So happy. Thank you. Anyways, you know, if you're a lead on that team, maybe you care about like hour or day to day, like how is the day going? Or as a supervisor, maybe you're thinking about like hourly, but also maybe you're thinking about daily, but also weekly, like how did the week go? And as a manager, your circle of influence and your scope of work might be that you're caring about what's happening weekly, monthly, maybe even semi-annually or yearly. And then as a director, it gets beyond that. It's monthly, semi-annually, yearly, and maybe even 5 years, right? And VP and up, it's definitely like that long-term strategy goal, right? So as a leader, we all have different spheres of influence and what we care about in our day-to-day work. And that's awesome because that allows you to zoom out and see the big picture. And what that means is you can aspire and dream and think of like the what ifs. What's possible? If we had no barriers to resources, what would we do? What do we want to do? And play catchball with each other and go back and forth on what could it look like. And you can dream up some really amazing things and then go to your frontline leaders or workers and say like, what do you guys think about this? And they're going to also give you feedback. Hey, can you guys imagine something where we could make this possible? So that's what I love about leadership. But also, I think it's really easy to get really far ahead of your team. And then your team's back here just like doggy paddling, like, help, help, I'm barely staying above water. So I had this really cool like kind of intimate, like one-to-one discussion with one of my previous bosses. And she kind of shared some vulnerability with me. And she was like, not one time, but when she was sort of in the role I was currently in, she was way over here and her team was way over here. And as I'm saying that, the leader is far ahead and the team is behind. And she was like sprinting and the team was like doggy paddling. And she's like, okay, one really nice reflection that we can all do as leaders is, where is my team? What do they need right now? And also, let's not forget the big picture. So you might need to have patience because small incremental changes will compound over time and you will get to where your ultimate goal, but it could take time. And let me be really realistic with you. It could take years. So that might be shocking to some of you. I know it definitely was to me. When I first came into this leadership role, I was like, all right, I got 5,000 ideas. I'm going to do them all this year. And of course, that's not realistic. So really focusing on one project or a couple projects that's going to give you the highest return of your investment. So one thing that you can do as a leader is, I love making this chart. It's basically like a graph, and you put in sort of your return or I guess like the benefits. And then on the other axis, you put your effort. And so essentially it's okay, and resources, right? So a lot of resources and that take a lot of effort for a low return on investment, that's not going to really help you in the long run. That's a bad decision. But if you have a lot of projects and you have to choose and prioritize, as a leader, you're going to be thinking about the long-term vision, but also what do my staff need today? So what project would take the least amount of resources but give you the highest return or benefit and help people today and help us get to where we want to go? That's how you want to think as a leader. And of course, a lot of other things you want to think about: timing, politics, and all those things are related to like capital funding, what's going on in the climate of your workplace. Are we in the middle of a pandemic? Do we have like certain resources available, or do you know of any other like competing strategic projects right now? So there's a lot to think about, but really your job is to focus on the big picture, know what it is, keep it in mind, but also be with your teams, know what they need right now, and be okay with little like incremental steps that will get you to where you want to go, and then help prioritize. You can use that grid to really make those tough decisions. And you can say to your team, we can't do everything this year, but you know what? If we tackle this one really awesome project, it's going to help you so much. And they're going to tell you, yes, that's going to help us so much. And you'll have their buy-in, and they'll also be able to be patient. Okay, we can wait for these other solutions. We can wait. Yes, one thing at a time. All right, guys, I hope that helps you. I just feel like this is something I think about all the time. It's a really good topic. So if you have examples of how you manage priorities or think about leadership as being the visionary, but also sort of, looking ahead and keeping perspective for your team, I would love to hear them in the comments of this video, or send me a message on Instagram at Fahey-Ahrndt. Okay, I will talk to you soon. Remember to stick around for day 5. Bye. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening to the Glow Getters podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, please give me a good rating and review. I would so much appreciate all the good feedback you have for me. If you like this content and you want to get some more of it, maybe even see me and watch some videos, you can check out my YouTube channel. Just search Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt, and you should be able to find my channel, which I call the Leadership Collaborative, which has tons of great information on leadership and tells you a little bit more about my Leadership Collaborative community that is always enrolling at the end of each month. All right, everyone, thanks so much again. I hope you stay well and safe. Be a light. Talk soon. Bye.